What is up, y'all? I think we're live. Let me check. Yeah, I believe we're live. Okay. Gonna close this tab out. All right. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this vertical streaming. I said I was gonna do a pop-up live, so here I am doing this pop-up live. Lots to get into, y'all. Trevon Diggs could be signing, I believe, with the Seahawks. And this is amid all the legal trouble with Terrion Arnold. But y'all know I believe in innocent until proven guilty. And I'm questioning what the state's bringing against Terrion Arnold. I don't believe they really have enough on Terrion Arnold. But we'll get into all that. Let's go ahead and start off with this intro.
Yeah, and I can speak on that because I watched Ty Simpson on Down to Business podcast with Caleb Downs, and Ty Simpson even said that the coaching wasn't there against Indiana. So he's even kind of spoke on his thoughts with the board compared to Nick Saban.
Chelsea, very well said.
I say when you hit somebody, ooh, what that mom gonna say? Ooh, my baby.
Want to eat a Kirk Coochie board?
Nothing says college like singing Journey while holding on to a goose.
What the heck here?
He's gonna sing into the goose.
I don't want to see it, but I want to see it. You know, he's a white guy playing DB, so you know it doesn't happen often. So you know when it does happen, you know everybody loves it.
Yeah.
Go Bulldogs.
Yale Bulldogs.
Oh, wow. Not so fast, midget. Not so fast.
Midget?
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast. I go with Harvard. What's the matter?
And I had to go back and replay this because what the f is she crying for, boy? Bitch must have bet her soul on this game. Then watch this next white lady come up.
You're still alive.
Boy, she act like somebody killed a pet.
Caleb Daniels.
Jaden Daniels?
Caleb Daniels.
Oh, yeah, of course. We know who
That's
that
the
is.
helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, one of my favorites, actually.
What Caleb Daniels does is special.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like him?
Just so good at ball.
CD?
Yeah.
Come on now.
When we see Caleb Daniels and we think to ourselves, holy fuck. That guy?
He can play.
Influencer with the helmet.
Yeah. Wait.
Caleb Daniels, absolute beast, dude. Fucking shout out Caleb Daniels.
Yeah, definitely my favorite helmet. Something back to Burrow real quick. He's got a Batmobile. Have you guys been in the?
Who is Caleb Daniels?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
He's Caleb Daniels.
Who is Caleb Daniels?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck his first name is. What's his name? What's the quarterback for the Bears?
Caleb Williams. Yeah, put two quarterbacks together.
Including doing this. Walking up to somebody and saying, no, you will not be texting right now. You're going to watch this football game.
He just took it and put it in his back pocket.
I've been to Charlotte. Matter of fact, I used to date a girl in Charlotte. Yeah, never forget, 2003. I wonder how she doing.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder how she doing. Yeah, in Charlotte. I've been to Charlotte. I've been to Charlotte twice. I've been to Raleigh. I've been to Raleigh twice. Raleigh.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
That's how you say it? How you say it again? You for real? But it's spelled R-A-L-E-I-G-H.
Raleigh.
That's Raleigh.
Close enough. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she was nice too, huh? She was nice too, boy.
Your team lost.
Okay.
Now let me celebrate.
Go ahead, celebrate.
Say you should take a Viagra before the game?
Oh, yeah, half a body. Just a little bit.
You really did?
Yeah, and get the blood flow going.
Okay.
The NFL don't test for that. When the blood flow is going, right?
But for the wrong reasons, though.
No. You take the whole.
Boy, you out there with your hormones going crazy, man.
No, listen to me.
You around straight dudes, dog.
He was eager to wrap something up, boy.
Hey, listen. The increased blood flow, it causes more exposure.
Hey, Chad, you out there, you like this?
Nah, see, y'all don't understand. I ate McDonald's, and I took Viagra, and I drank Red Bull, and I didn't have sex for 12 months. It was meant to be behind my madness.
Don't you have to take nothing to my fault. I'm going to block your ass.
How's that? You ain't finna fit nothing in my phone. I don't know where that came from. Nope.
To the back of Marcus Lattimore's net. Lattimore pushes it. Mike Evans comes flying out of the top rope and lays out Lattimore.
But down. This was my Christmas present, and I got a loss. Yeah, probably. I'm feeling two of two things. A, I want A.J. Brown packing his bags, and I want him somewhere else that is not here. I love you, A.J., but, like, you can't make those drops in that game. And I also want Kevin Patullo flipping burgers at, like, the local McDonald's or something. I don't care.
Touchdown 14-0. And then Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan going at each other. This is something else. Watch this, folks. Now, you talk about a fight. This is serious stuff. This is Jimmy on your left, and that's Howie on the right. And that's how we warm up for the pregame show. But
watch this, George.
Yeah.
He bought that line.
Chris, why the f*** you at that house? Why the f*** you at that house?
Now, why is he at that? Bro, he should be in the NFL right now. He should be at training camp. What's going on? This is the next line freaking running back, all right, Chris? Let's get you on the fucking squad ASAP, all right? Just quit messing around in these suburban neighborhoods. Let's get you on the fucking show.
She's a 10, but she thinks the yellow line on the football field is real. What? What's her rating now?
She really thinks it's real?
Yeah, she thinks it's real.
Yeah, it's probably like a 5.
She's a 10, but she asks, why do they always run it up the middle into a bunch of people instead of to the side? Wait, hang on. Yeah, that's 5 right there. She's a 10, but she thinks Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in the next 5 years.
She's a 0, negative, frozen factor.
She's a 10, but she wishes they kept Mac Jones.
Oh, 100.
Come on!
I'm not going to rate anybody but my girlfriend.
I'm like, bro, Cowboys supposed to be playing tonight. What the fuck is going on? I got my hat on, I got my jersey on, I got my forces on, I got my swag on, I done prayed to my Jesus, everything, want it?
Mark, did you have baby oil on today?
No. We gotta keep that for somebody else, bro. Yeah, that's not my question right there. I did do it as a kid, though. We can't even ask that no more, bro. It's too much going on in life right now with that, man. We can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that.
What the fuck? I knew how important this was for our team. Our team chill. I knew how important this was for our team, and just.
Hey, when you how you more product than anybody? You could go get your hair done. What y'all tell them? Like to the left or the right? No, I tell them go number 2 all the way up to a fade and just give me a phone call. It's a phone call, bro. Number 2. Hey, Paul, what do you know? Hey, it's a little outside. Leave us outside. Leave us outside. I always tell them I should leave a little bit on the top.
I gotta tell you, we had a meeting. The coach, things are not going well. You know, Ray Charles can say that, brother.
So what's next?
Well, I gotta tell you this, though. Say, coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're gonna give it to you. I said, what time do you want me to leave? What door you want me out of, brother?
This is a coach ball. It's not a crystal ball.
So everybody done had at least one coach or teacher with anger issues. But wait, what the hell going on? Coach done blew a gasket. Blood pressure pushing 200 over too damn high. Looked like the player wasn't where he should have been when he was supposed to be there. But he tried to sneak on the field. Too late for all that. Head coach got a drive-by warning. I'm about to get in his ass. Well, Mike, let's simmer down a bit. No! Get out! Having to walk past after be the worst part. So I'm running. Maybe if I move fast enough, he'll forget. Only thing he forgot was a damn weapon. He chased Paulie D all the way to the sideline. Teammates trying not to be next. Hey, man, chill out. Number 24 barely looked back. I ain't see nothing, coach. I'm trying to play. All other coaches unfazed, except Ricky Rose. This is his favorite show. Making the coach mad to the point where they want to fight is crazy. He almost tore everything in his knee to get to Andrew. Top tier rage bait pop up like an Xbox achievement. The shortest player on the team, the only one stepped in to help my man. I just know he was calling him all type of pansies and mother lovers and finished it off with you're uncoachable. Face on lobster red and he just gonna walk off like ain't nothing happened.
I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take it serious. Real serious. I put my heart and soul in it every single week. All I'm saying is the camera shows. I'm just telling you right now what I do every single week. Every single week. I put my freaking heart and soul into this. I study my off. I don't go out there and laugh. It's not funny. It's not funny. Nothing's funny to me. I don't want to go out there and get embarrassed on Monday Night Football in front of everybody. That's why I'm asking you. I'm telling you right now. We're talking. Deuce and I are talking. What was the context? I'm done. Sorry. I'm not dealing with it.
Jones? Lamar, there was that point in the season where you guys lost 3 straight, 4 or 5.
Mike Jones. Mike Jones, that's me. Mike Jones, that's me right now. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's all right.
Obviously, with what I observed the past few seasons, with the defense like missing basic fundamental skills like the open field tackles and those issues, I know they slowly improved those elements over the season, but just not enough when it matters in big games like against Indiana.
Their quarterback is impressive. I mean, his ability to just escape and make plays on the run, I mean, it's just outstanding what I've seen. And just the defensive side of it as well. They're definitely going to be a concern for me going forward if Alabama doesn't get their offensive line straightened out.
Chelsea, that's a great point.
Yeah, and I can speak on that because so let's add Couch's drop. We got Couch in the building. Shout out to you from the Black Couch. Let me get your drop. Gotta add the file here. Y'all will see me working real time. F it, we do it live, right? So let's see. Drops for faves. Hopefully I have everything labeled to where I can remember it. But let me search for Couch. Let's see. Which one is this? Okay, here we go. We'll do this one to start off with. Y'all gotta add the sound for me, okay? I gotta add the sound for me. Just be patient. Bear with me. Or should we do full screen? I don't know. I'm afraid to do full screen because that guy went viral and I don't want to get copywritten on this. So we gotta make it fair use, right? Gotta make it fair use. And this is the best way to do it, y'all. All right, here we go. Let's add the sound. Did I add it for me? Yes, I did. Okay, let's go. Shout out to you. All right, now we got Momo. Momo Rants is in the building. Make sure y'all are subscribed to his channel as well. Let's add your drop, Momo. Also got to add G Honda's drop because I seen G Honda in the building. Let's see. Here we go. Momo, here's your drop.
The diabetes chicken
now I gotta add the sound for me. Fit it to the screen. I should just add all y'all's drops so I don't have to do this live. But, you know, F it, we do it live, like I said. All right, here we go.
Like the Cowboys, it sucks ass ace. It is like sorrow and sewage. This shit not fit for a raccoon. The diabetes chicken made by Lloyd. And like the Cowboys, it sucks ass ace. It is like sorrow and sewage. This shit not fit for a raccoon.
Shout out to Lloyd from the Sports Lounge. Okay, we also have, let's see, is that all the drops that I needed to add, I think? Oh yeah, G Honda. I almost missed you, G Honda. I almost missed you, but I will add your drop. Y'all, I gotta add the chat over here. I just realized I don't have the chat added either. I gotta add the chat too, okay? So I can see y'all's comments as I play y'all's drops. But we got G Honda in the building. Let's find G Honda. I got so many drops for you. Let's see. I gotta pick one. Hopefully I picked the one that's my favorite. Here we go. Here we go.
Who the fuck could that be?
Alright, let me add the sound for me. Get it fit to the screen. There we go.
Who the fuck could that be? What does his weird ass want now? What's up, Gaston?
You, G Honda. Y'all, let me add this chat real quick, okay? I gotta add the chat for when I play y'all's drops. Which one is it? Drops for faves. Okay, here we go. Come on, let me paste it. That's weird. Did I not? Let me go back to this screen. I know I copied it. Okay, here we go. Now I can see, there we go. Now I can look at y'all's comments while I bring up your drops. That's what I wanted. Okay, now we got that out of the way. I can go ahead and
Stop comparing yourself to other people. Compare yourself to you. Be the best you could possibly be. And that's all you need to focus on. Be the best you could possibly be. I don't give a damn what they got going on. I don't give a damn what they got in the driveway. I don't give a damn what you pulling up to. I don't give a damn what you got around your neck or on your feet. Be the best you that you could possibly be. That's all God asks.
Ain't that the truth? Just be the best you can be. Don't focus on what other people have going on. Focus on your own lane. It's the truth. Shout out to Deion Sanders. Okay, let's see. We ought to do the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem because y'all know that I'm bad to forget that. Let's see. You got to move this chat up here. But let's go ahead and do that Touchdown Tribe National Anthem. So all rise for the Touchdown Tribe National Anthem.
On the Star Spangled Banner, Fergie.
That our flag was still there.
On the Star.
All right, there we go. Aren't y'all proud of me for remembering that? I know I'm proud of myself, okay? I'm proud of myself for remembering that. But let's get into the shenanigans. What should I start off with first? Should I start off with this Trevon Diggs news? I think I will. I think I will start off with Trevon Diggs. Is this? No, that's Butterfingers. Okay, that's Butterfingers CeeDee Lamb. Let's see. Is it this one? So we got Trevon Diggs going to the Seahawks, possibly. Let's read this article. I'm going to pop it up on the screen. Y'all, I thought I had... Let me see if it shows up now. There we go. That's the right one. Now, I'm probably not going to have the article scrolling as I cover this topic. I'm just going to read it from my phone because there's no way that I can read it from that screen. So I'm going to read it from the phone, but this is the article, okay? Y'all can check that out for yourselves. Let me go ahead and see what this says. So it says, former Dallas Cowboy Pro Bowl cornerback Trevon Diggs plans to sign a one-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks. Per Adam Schefter, the move addresses one of Seattle's biggest question marks and offers Diggs a chance for a fresh start with the reigning Super Bowl championships after a tumultuous ending to his tenure in Dallas. Y'all, that ended so badly. And it's like I said with the Dallas Cowboys defense, I really don't blame the players that we had. Now, I do blame the coaching, but I don't really blame the players. I put it more on Jerry Jones and the coaching that we had. It was horrible, horrible. So I really don't have any hard feelings towards Micah Parsons or Trevon Diggs. Excuse me. Let's see. The Seahawks still plan to sign cornerback Terrion Arnold. Y'all, we're going to get into that. So they still plan on signing Terrion Arnold. This does not hurt Terrion Arnold. I just want to be clear about that. Y'all know my feelings towards the Terrion Arnold situation. He's innocent until proven guilty, and if y'all do your research on that case, the state really isn't working with the whole lot. And even the judge told the state that, basically. And this is why Terrion Arnold was granted a work release. It was why he was offered bail. So I'm not putting much stock in the state right now. I just think they're conviction hungry and they want a high profile case like Terrion Arnold. And I've spoke with different lawyers about this as well. So I'm pretty well researched on this Terrion Arnold topic at this point. But this does not hurt him whatsoever. So it says, but with no word on when he will be available to play amid the ongoing legal case. So we don't know when Terrion Arnold would be allowed to play, but either way, it's not going to hurt him being signed with the Seahawks. Diggs gives them more immediate help at the position. Let's see what else it has to say. Just gets into his career, the injuries he's had. Yeah, so there's that. I don't really have to read the rest. But I'm excited for, you know what? The two people that I am most excited for have finally gotten deals done. And that's Terrion Arnold and Trevon Diggs. Y'all, despite what he has going on off the field, I still think Trevon Diggs is a talent. He was just at the wrong team with the Dallas Cowboys. It just was not a good fit. And it wasn't just Trevon Diggs having this issue, it was other defensive players as well. That's why Dallas just, got rid of the majority of their roster to begin with, is because it wasn't a good situation. Y'all, I just seen it in the headline. If you all look at the ticker, it just came across the headline about the news with Trevon Diggs. So there's that. I can close this tab out. Let's see what y'all are saying in the comment section. Who is worse, Carl or Fergie? I don't know. I think that new one that Coop has is probably... That girl is taking the cake right now. What's her name? Martha? I can't remember her name now. But, that girl, she's taken the cake recently for the worst Super Bowl... Or not Super Bowl, but... National Anthem performances. Terrion Arnold is going on the commissioner's exempt list. I don't know. He's going to be out. Let's just go ahead and get into that. Let's just go ahead and get into what Adam Schefter had to say earlier today on the Pat McAfee show regarding the update on Terrion Arnold.
Stay in the NFC West. Terrion Arnold, we got a chance to kind of watch John Schneider go through that entire process last night on Hard Knocks with Nicole Lynn from Clutch, who's an absolute beast of an agent. Can you tell us where we stand on that? He goes on the commissioner's list, but they sign him, but they don't sign him. Like, how much do we know about his case? Like, what is kind of the future for Terrion Arnold, who by all accounts, from listening to the way John Schneider talked about him coming out of college, he's beloved. It feels like Saban came out and talked about him. I think his teammates loved him. It sounded like everything he was saying at the combine was that of a guy who absolute dog and loves ball and everything like that. Then
y'all, Terrion Arnold is very well respected. He has never been a problem off the field, not even during his days at Alabama. Nick Saban himself spoke really highly of Terrion Arnold. He even spoke so highly of Terrion Arnold to the point where he gave him a character reference for his court dates. So this guy has never been a problem. Not even with the Lions did this guy have any off the field issues. And I highly encourage everyone to do their research on the facts of this case, because many people do not have an understanding of the details of this. And it's two women who are looking to have a lesser sentence, who have no ties, no communication whatsoever with Terrion Arnold. They are testifying against him. That is really the only thing that's been presented by the state of what they have against Terrion Arnold. They have nothing tying him to the scene. Not even the victims wrote in a witness, it would be a witness statement, but not even the victims themselves wrote in a statement that Terrion Arnold was at the scene or had any communication. And none of the other guys who was involved with this incident, the robbery, have testified that Terrion Arnold had anything to do with it. So the state really isn't working with a whole lot. And that's why I encourage people to really look at the facts of the case. Because if they do their research, they would understand that Terrion Arnold has a really good chance of being found not guilty.
Very serious allegations come out and he gets cut and released from the Lions. Where do we stand with Terrion Arnold right now, Shefty, and what is kind of the projection?
They knew all along that the commissioner's exempt list was going to be the likely outcome. The question is, and it's always been the question here, how long was he going to have to remain on there, and was there a chance they would get him back this season?
This goes back to what G. Honda was saying about the commissioner's exempt list. Yes, he will be on it, but there's no indication of how long he would be on it for. So he could possibly, get taken off that list, which I think he should. Y'all, I don't even think he should be on the list, if I'm being honest with you. You are innocent until proven guilty in this country. He was granted a work release. He should be allowed to play. He should be allowed to play based off of that. Because if there wasn't even enough evidence presented at his bond hearing to deny him bond and deny the work release, then he should be allowed to play, in my opinion.
That's what they still have been navigating, and I would imagine some of those calls are going back and forth, because now, again, if you find out that the NFL tells you that it's going to leave him on that list the entire season, and you're the Seahawks, if you sign him and he's on that list, you owe him that money. So you're paying him for nothing at that point in time. So I would imagine there's some back and forth conversations here. The Seahawks absolutely were signing him, planned to sign him, and I still think that they will wind up signing him. But you have to figure out and account for all the legal issues that he's facing, how the NFL is going to handle it, and there are conversations that are being navigated right now.
Nicole Lynn of Clutch Sports said to John Schneider on the phone call that there were 7 other teams that were interested.
The fact that you had 7 other teams interested in him, and I have no doubt that the Cowboys was one of those teams that were interested in Terrion Arnold, but the fact that you had 7 teams interested in him, it just tells me that the Lions never should have let him go. But like I said yesterday, this is typical for the Lions. They have been known to have a track record, a pattern of releasing guys, getting rid of them if there's any sort of legal allegations against them. They just go ahead and write you off. And it's so unfortunate. You are innocent until proven guilty. And that should not happen.
Seattle Seahawks, so that he could grow as a person and as a player. They liked his culture. Schneider liked all of that as well. Okay, let's pivot off of Terrion Arnold. We hope he gets a set. Well, we don't know, actually.
See, I didn't like this part from Pat McAfee. He got ready to say, hey, I hope he gets a second chance. And then he stopped himself. He stopped himself and said, well, we don't know. We don't know. And it's like, what do you not know? If anybody does their research, like I've been saying on this case, they would see that Terrion Arnold stands a really good chance of being found not guilty. And I've even spoke to lawyers on this. Lawyers, defense lawyers who are on this. I've spoke with them on this. And they have said that he stands a really good chance of being found not guilty. After they learned all the facts that I gave them, they were like, yeah, he stands a good chance of being found not guilty, because what the state is presenting isn't enough to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
No idea what the thing is. That was very alarming charges.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what he said
big
too
time.
in Hard Knocks. Like, yeah, if you read the article about it, like, it was shocking. Like, the Lions kind of had to do it.
And see, I disagree with that. The Lions did not have to do that. And this goes back to why it's such a problem with people assuming someone's guilty before their day in court. That the Lions had, in my opinion, they should not have done that. You are innocent until proven guilty. The judge even granted him a work release and allowed him bond because the state did not have enough to prove why he should be locked up, and denied bond and denied a work release. So I don't agree with that. And that just adds to the problem of assuming someone's guilty before their day in court. And I don't like that. I'm not here for that. Y'all know that.
Arnold's attorney has come out and said, what are we talking about? Yeah, right, as he's done. So I guess we just let kind of the courts figure that out. Is that what we're doing now? We just kind of wait on the courts, Shefty?
Well, I think it's the NFL. The trial.
Well, the NFL is going to say, we'll let the courts figure it out for sure.
But the NFL is going to weigh in before there's any trial. So the NFL is going to say, you're on the commissioner exempt list for 2 games.
So the commissioner's exempt list, the NFL will weigh in on this before his day in court. And I hope they do right by Terrion Arnold. He was granted a work release for a reason. So I think he should be allowed to work.
Whole season, whatever it may be. They're not going to wait until the case is concluded. They can't do that, because if they did that, then he'd wind up playing this full season. And I don't think the NFL is just going to wave the flag and say, go ahead and play right now with these outstanding issues hanging over him.
Okay, got it. Thank you for the update there. Stay in the NFC West.
All right, so there is the update on Terrion Arnold, y'all. So he'll still most likely, have a deal done, but he will be on the commissioner's exempt list, and we'll find out more on the time frame of that. Also, you have Trevon Diggs now with the Seahawks as well. So I'm excited that these guys got deals done. Y'all, I just had posted a highlight of Trevon Diggs. It's ironic he got a deal done. And I was thinking to myself earlier today, I was like, man, I wonder if Trevon Diggs is going to get a deal done. I really hope he does. I really, watching these athletes from college to the NFL, it's like I get attached to them, and I hope the best for these players, right? And Trevon Diggs was one of them. Despite his off-the-field issues, along with his brother, I just hope the best for their careers. And sure enough, Trevon Diggs gets a deal done. So I'm excited for him. I think they are worthy of this, because they have worked their whole lives, and I feel like they haven't really had the opportunities, the right situations to showcase everything that they can do. All right, so let's move on from that topic and get into the next one, which is the QB situation with the Browns.
Hey guys, it's your favorite Dunk here.
go ahead and click that subscribe button below so you don't miss a single episode of Nightcap. That button right here. Come for the sports, stay for the stories.
And speaking of that, y'all, make sure you subscribe to my channel. You know, I had From the Black Couch. I still call him From the Black Couch. Now it's Black Couch X. But I pinned one of his chats because, you know, he's telling y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. If you enjoy sports and you want more sports in your algorithm, the best thing to do is to subscribe to channels that give you sports like me. Okay, so let's continue on with this video.
Browns GM Andrew Berry spoke to our very own Debo and Joe this morning and made it clear Deshaun Watson contract will have no advantage over Shedeur Sanders. Let's take a listen to what Andrew Berry had to say this morning.
And it's a lot of people I know you heard that said, you know what, they're paying Watson too much money to not start him. How much pressure is on you to start Watson because of what you're paying?
It doesn't matter what they're paid when they're on the field. What we want are wins and performance and production. It's a performance-based, decision. The contract does not matter. We're pleased with both guys. Ultimately, it's performance and production that's going to drive the decision for Coach Monk.
From that last game, Coach, how would you rate the performances though from the quarterbacks?
I think we saw good things from both guys. Obviously, look, it's preseason, so
it's preseason. It's early.
Guys aren't going to be perfect. Deshaun, we were really pleased with how he operated the offense. He navigated the pocket well. He was accurate when we had either miscues.
Hey, Matt, what is up? Let's see. We're at 110. I gotta add your drop, Matt. Okay, but I did add it to my horizontal streaming. I just haven't added it to the vertical, but I do have your drop now, and I'm so excited to play it because it's Will Anderson Jr. and he's one of my favorite when it comes to the Texans. I have some Texans updates, and I'm sure Matt, you've already heard the news on the Texans. Let's go. Let's see. I gotta add the sound for me, okay? Can't just be for y'all now. We'll just do this like that. All right. Oh, well, I can't do it. Hold on. Can't do it like that. There we go. All right, let's play this now.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, man. We going, man. We own this. If they ain't used them, it's them. If they ain't got used them all, look, they out. Yeah. Quarter. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey,
shout out to you, Matt. And y'all go subscribe to his channel. All right. Back to it. Where were we at? Did I say 110? I believe I said 110. Y'all, I'll struggle here without Pooh Man, okay?
Hey, guys, it's your favorite dunk here.
Go ahead. I was at 110, though.
Offense, he navigated the pocket well. He was accurate when we had either miscues or a look that we weren't necessarily expecting down the field in coverage. He did a really nice job. He didn't break off like a huge scramble, but he did a good job of turning a play that really should have been a negative into a no gain or a short game with his legs. He's put in a lot of hard work over the last year plus. And then Shedeur, I think we continue to see major growth in Shedeur's game, both in terms of his processing speed. Obviously, don't like to see the turnover. On the whole, a lot of good to take, and then some good moments where we're going to be able to coach off of them and then really improve as we go into the Buffalo week.
Yeah, definitely.
Ocho, you believe what he said?
Come on, man. I mean, listen, I respect Mr. Berry, huh? Yeah. You hear me? I respect him. I love him. He has a very tough job to do. But to sit there and say that what you're making does not have any significance, whether you start or not, when it comes to money. Come on, man.
I'm saying, Ocho,
man?
what else?
Hey, Joe, in the history of this game, it's never happened where someone's making that kind of money and someone else beats them out of their position. It hasn't happened ever.
Ocho
Ever.
ain't telling no lies. Deshaun Watson will most likely be your starter, okay, for the Browns. They already paid him all that money. I think, and I've said this before, I think Deshaun Watson should start. because I would rather risk Deshaun Watson playing versus risking Sanders. I don't want Sanders getting sacked or getting injured and ending his career early, right? I want him to have a long-lasting career, so at whatever cost, protect that guy and just hope that he finally gets out of the Browns organization. That's what I would want. I would rather see Deshaun Watson's body on the line than Sanders, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm completely fine with them starting Deshaun Watson over Sanders.
Listen.
It's okay to, when you ask, this is why, like a politician, you ask a politician, they'll answer the question without really answering it. And if you know the game, understand the game, you understand the business when it comes to this game, you know they lying.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I understand it, but he has to do
I agree with you, Matt. He'll be on a short leash. And here's my thing with that. I just think that I would rather them have Sanders go to another team. I don't see that happening, but I would rather see that than Sanders start for the Browns, because if Deshaun Watson was to get benched, if he has a bad performance, what is that really going to solve? Your whole team is in shambles, basically. We all know that, GM situation, the organization in and of itself is horrible to be at. So, honestly, I would rather to see Sanders get the heck out of there and Deshaun Watson start. But like I said, that's Sanders getting out of there. I think that's a long shot. But I would want that. I would really want to see Sanders somewhere else other than the Browns, because I think that was the most horrible situation to go to. I talk about how I didn't want Ty Simpson going to the Arizona Cardinals, right? I talk about that. But if I had to pick between going to, for like Sanders, if I had to pick him going to, let's see, Arizona Cardinals, Miami Dolphins, even the Jets or the Browns, I'd probably pick like the Arizona Cardinals, Miami Dolphins, and even the Jets over going to the Browns right now, because it's not good. I'm reaching when it comes to the Jets, but I just feel like the Browns is so unstable.
He has to come on and say that. He can't tell the truth. But even a blind man can see how this business has always worked when it comes to the person making the most of the money. They've always been the starter. If you play receiver, you're making the most money. Who's getting the most opportunities, Unc?
The guy that paid them, they get paid the most.
Yeah, and see, Matt, that's another thing, too. You brought up Monken. Now, Monken, I'm familiar with Monken because I watch college football. Obviously, I watch the NFL, too. Monken comes from, he was a assistant coach at Georgia, and then he was with the Ravens, and now, he's with the Browns. But I don't know. I'm not expecting too much from Monken, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not expecting him to be some sort of saving grace for the Browns. Honestly, the Browns kind of remind me of the Dallas Cowboys. The Browns are obviously in a way worse situation, but that's kind of what it reminds me of, because you have a horrible owner, horrible GM, and it's not a good situation there.
Oh, man.
It's just hard for me to see a guy, Joe, that's making that kind of money.
What'd you say? Chelsea, can we ban Go Cree Cree? She talks bad about Bama and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Cree Cree talks bad about Bama, too? I didn't know Cree Cree was talking bad about Bama. What's she got against Bama? Ohio State, you know I don't like Ohio State. I do give credit where credit's due. Ohio State, that's becoming a top program, although I do think the rule changes had a lot to do with it, with the transfer portal and NIL benefiting only the Big Ten, obviously, because that's who you've seen the past 3 years in national championships. But man, Cree Cree, I didn't know she was coming for Bama and for Ohio State. the Ohio State. Derek, I will play your video, your drop after this video.
Get the opportunity to start. Now, I'm not saying he's going to start all 17 games, but I just don't know how he's on your roster and he doesn't start day 1. I'm not saying he start day 50. I'm not saying he start day 30, day 45, day 85. All I'm saying is it's just hard when one guy is making 46, 47 million and the other guy's making $1.5 million. It's just hard for me to see it.
Yeah. It's a tough situation, but hell, he can't come on there and say that it does play a factor. You know, I thought he had to answer the question politically correct. And the fact that I think they definitely want to give Deshaun an opportunity.
They're walking on eggshells, I'm telling you, when it comes to this QB controversy at the Browns.
You know what I mean? You have to give him a chance, bro. And like he said, they both show some great flashes. Obviously the turnovers, but for the most part, it's still wide open. And the fact that they're giving those guys a chance to compete for their job, I mean, I think that's, as a competitor, as a player, that's all I would ask for, bro.
I don't want Sanders starting there. I don't want him risking his body for the Browns. Imagine if Sanders was to get injured playing for the Browns. Of all teams to put your body on the line for, and you're going to go down for the Browns, I ain't with that. I'm sorry. I'm not with that. Go sacrifice your body somewhere else, because I don't think it should be for the Browns.
But be honest with me. Don't have me out here competing, Uncle Ocho, knowing damn well I ain't got a chance to win the job, bro.
But the thing is, somebody said in the chat where they did it with Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why Drew got hurt, Tom came in, Coach Belichick felt that Brady was playing better than Drew before Drew got hurt.
I can't remember the timeline of this, but I swear it was Drew Bledsoe who was the QB at the Dallas Cowboys. He went out. That's when Tony Romo got his start. Now, I don't know what point in time Bledsoe was at the Patriots, but, you know, Bledsoe, similar situation. Bledsoe got hurt, and that's when Tom Brady went in. I'm pretty sure it was the same quarterback each time. I'll research that. I'll make sure I'm correct on that. But same situation. You know, you had Bledsoe out. Tony Romo comes in, takes over from that point on. And then that line continued. Tony Romo was getting injured a lot. He goes out, Dak Prescott starts, and it never turned back. Could that be a situation for the Browns? Now, Matt, you did say that keeping a bad quarterback in the game will get him fired. I don't know if I agree with that. I think they'll be patient with Monken, considering the QB situation going on with the Browns. I think that they'll be understanding with him and it being his first year. I think though they will give him another year, right? So I don't think his job is at risk the first year, but oh man, it's a lot, y'all. I'm gonna research that one fact though, okay?
He had the hot hand.
So that's not. But
Brady
he
had
did
the hot
not
hand.
start the opening week. He did not.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different thing. If Deshaun playing, hopefully doesn't get hurt, he gets benched. But the thing was, you said that Brady did it with Bledsoe. That didn't happen. Drew started the first 5 games. Drew got hurt. Tom came in.
Against the Jets.
Coach Belichick felt that Tom was playing better than Drew before Drew got hurt.
Okay, so my football history was correct. I told you guys right. So what I said about Tom Brady replacing Bledsoe after he was injured, that happened. And then the same with the Dallas Cowboys. So Bledsoe went out for the Cowboys, and that's when Tony Romo took over. So 2 times Bledsoe got replaced by 2 different teams.
Mike Shanahan told us, because, Ocho, you know the general rule of thumb, you can't lose your job because of an injury. Mike Shanahan said that's bull jive. He said if you get hurt, the guy comes in and he's playing better than you before you got hurt, that's his job.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. And think about this. if you start Shador to start, I just think it's hard to sit Deshaun on the bench making that type of money. Y'all don't think they'll just try to get rid of him? Maybe they'll eat their contract. They probably won't be able to trade him. But hell, if Shador do win the job, you can't have Deshaun sitting over there on a damn bench.
Here's my thoughts on Deshaun Watson, y'all. And I've talked about Deshaun Watson before. I hope the best for Deshaun Watson. He played for Clemson in college. Y'all, granted, I don't like Clemson. Alabama did beat Clemson that year, so. But anyways, I want the best for Deshaun Watson. Like, I've seen all the little interviews with him. I think he's genuinely a great guy. I know that there was a lot of controversy involving those scandals with, the massage therapist and all that. I don't know. I take all that with a grain of salt, right? But I really hope that he can have a great career, because it's been rough from the start. If you had to pick a QB bust, he would probably be on that list. Just how things have gone. So he started out with the Texans. Things didn't work out with the Texans. He goes to the Browns, and now we're seeing how this has all played out. He's had, I think, an Achilles injury, and the scandals. It's just not been good. It's not been good for Deshaun Watson. So finally, he's getting to play. Hopefully, he stays healthy. He can perform well. I genuinely hope the best for him. I hope he can prove the haters wrong and showcase, the talent that he had in the past. I really hope that's the case. We will see what happens with that. But like I said, I hope the best for Deshaun Watson. I genuinely do.
Yeah. Same thing, Tony Romo, Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
You look at the way Dak played in the regular season.
Brought up Tony Romo and Dak Prescott, but I hit him with an extra fact, y'all. I hit him with an extra fact. They didn't bring up the fact that Tony Romo replaced Bledsoe. Y'all, look at my little football knowledge, okay? Shout out to me for that.
As a rookie, Tony Back was injured. But they said, you know what? The way this rookie playing, he playing better than what Dak played last.
He took too much time off. I don't give a dang about none of that. If I'm being honest with you, I don't give a dang about none of that. I think that, I'm a believer. I have, faith in, whatever God has planned for somebody's life. And if God decides that he's going to bless Deshaun Watson with the talent that he once had and show everybody, like the haters, prove him wrong, then that's what he's going to do. And I hope that's the case. I'm not saying that's going to happen, y'all. I don't know how it's going to go. Well, let's see. Where are we at? 6:14. Let's see if I have this drop. But I don't know how it's going to go, okay? Here we go.
I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to go. It could go either way. It could go either way.
It could go either way. I don't really know how it's going to work. They could say this. They could tell Deshaun Watson this if it doesn't go right.
Get that son of a bitch off the field right now. Out. He's fired. He's fired.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes, though.
Hey, guys, it's your favorite dunk here.
All right,
Go ahead
we were at 6:14, I believe.
He playing better than what Dak played last year. Yeah, we got to stay with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Tony been in the broadcast booth ever since.
Exactly, Derek. That's what I was talking about. And I even double-checked my facts, because y'all know the journalist in me. I was like, let me double-check my facts. And I was correct. I don't want to give you all the wrong information.
Zeke was a monster their rookie year, bro. Them boys were cutting up.
Damn. I get it. Y'all said
it's so
Matt
funny.
Flynn,
It's so funny.
Russell. There's a big difference between 47 million
Now,
and
yeah,
$1.5 million.
Matt, I think comparing him to Vic, I think that's a bit of a stretch, and the only reason why I say that is because, you know, Vic, I don't like talking too harshly of Vic. You know, Vic, we all know what happened with Vic, right? He was sent away for, you know, a decent amount of time, and he wasn't in a facility getting reps in and training and staying healthy, right? He didn't have access to what Deshaun Watson has access to. At least with Deshaun Watson, he has access to the best, you know, sports medicine care. He has the best sports therapy, physical therapy, and you also have the fact that who he trains with. So he has more options to keep him in great shape versus what Vic had. That's why I'm a little less harsh when it comes to Deshaun Watson. I'm waiting till I see the cleats hit the turf. Show me proof, like, you know, I know people want to say that he is probably going to be horrible and they have a lot of doubt on him, but I'm not saying that. I'm just, you know, in the middle. I'm indifferent. Like I said, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm waiting to see the cleats hit the turf because he could showcase some talent that people forgot about. We just don't know. So I'm not writing him off just yet. You know, I was really long-winded. Not gonna lie, I was really long-winded. But the main point is, I'm not writing Deshaun Watson off just yet. I just want to see the cleats hit the turf. Show me what you're working with. Because we all know, come game time, it's a different situation. He could turn it on again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big difference.
You know what's funny too I like the fact that Joe and Debo were able to get Mr. Berry.
Yeah, that's great.
Right.
Derek, you said Cree is a QB bus. Derek, don't be coming for Cree like that. Come on now, let's be a little bit nice, okay? I know Cree could say some things. I won't hold you. I will defend you. Cree can say some things, and I'm just like Cree, come on now. But I get it, okay? I get it. Y'all taking shots at each other though. Shots fired. Hold on, I think I got that drop. We're at 6:52. We're at 6:52. But I'm telling you, shots fired. I think I have that drop on here as well.
Sound like he got a drum over there. He got a switch on Joe.
He got a nice little Tommy gun.
Shots fired. Yeah. Shots fired.
He fired that thing at somebody on Joe.
Shots fired between Derek and Cree. I tell you.
Hey guys, it's your favorite dunk here.
All right, 6:52 is where we were at.
Mr. Berry.
Yeah, that's great.
Right. But what I don't like is how people eat it up. How people eat it up and don't see through the politically correct stuff.
They do. They see
because they don't. I think some people actually really believe. They really believe. Like you can't be that. You know what? I was gonna go into politics, but I'm not gonna go there because that's not.
In other words, you want to say these people can't be that naive and believe.
Okay, right. I'm not gonna go there, but like, come on, man. I like that.
All right, there we go. I think that's enough. We covered that. Let's get into the Dallas Cowboys with Max Crosby. Y'all, I've been talking about this, seen it floating around. I don't know how likely I believe Crosby is going to leave for the Cowboys, especially after the Cowboys signed Von Miller. Crosby, it's just, I feel like he's been adamant about remaining with the Raiders. I've also seen Adam Schefter report on it as well. Adam Schefter said, you know, all signs point to him staying. Obviously, there's always that slight chance he could, you know, strike a deal somewhere else, but I just don't know how likely that is. But let's get into what I believe First Take had to say on this topic.
Welcome back to
Jerry Jones is saying. Oh, I gotta play Derek's drop, y'all. Let me change the setting here.
Welcome back to First
Okay, I was at 50 seconds, but does anybody believe what Jerry Jones is saying? Because I certainly do not. I certainly do not believe a word that comes out of his mouth. It's good time for a boozy drop, okay?
Because I be feeling like everybody lying. Nigga, you lying. You ain't do that. Because I be feeling like everybody lying. Nigga, you lying. You ain't do that.
I don't believe it, y'all. I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. Let's see. Derek's drop. I might have to add it. Okay, no, here it is.
Leave Chelsea alone. What's wrong with you, G Hunter? I'm the one who's telling you about your fantasy. Listen. Send me your address so I can send you a rainbow flag. Since you want to look like Alicia Keys. That's okay, man. You can't even grow. You can't even grow enough hair. Man, I'm not accustomed to a man wanting to look like a woman. And you too dark to look like her. Why don't you? You know what? You look like a good Jennifer Hudson. That's what you would look like.
Gremlin. Gremlin.
You too dark to be Alicia Keys. You look like a good Jennifer Hudson.
Hey, G Hudson. G Hudson.
You look like a gremlin and top row look like a predator.
That's your name for the year, G Hudson. That's your name
for the year, G Hudson. Shout out to you, Derek. All right, back to it, y'all. Let's finish up with this video. That, y'all, yesterday, I heard that, and I had to cut the show. I ain't gonna hold you. I had to cut the show, because I was like, the 90s? Are you serious?
What's going on? I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off. Take me off.
Because I was like, ain't no way. Just ain't no way. How? How? Tell me how. Maybe I should have gave him a little bit of a chance. But I'm just like, how?
How? Hold on, bro. How? How you? I'm saying, how? Like, talk to me, bro.
And the only reason why I say how is because you're rebuilding your whole defense. How does this team remind you of the 90s if you've rebuilt your entire defense? You have new key pieces there. Like, you still have question marks with a lot of positions. And, you know, now you have that new defensive coordinator. I'm just like, how? Tell me how this team reminds you of the 90s. You got a lot of explaining to do, sir. Please convince me that why this team reminds you of the 90s. Because you know what? I ain't buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not the delusional Cowboy fan. I ain't looking into all this, okay? There has been a lot of hype about this Cowboys team. And I'm like, slow down. Pump the brakes, because there's still a lot of question marks too. Y'all not trying to bamboozle me. You know what? That's another good one. But y'all not trying to bamboozle me with this. I'm not the one. I'm telling you, I'm not the one.
Have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out have been.
All right, let's get back to it. Yep, exactly. Derek, this is something that I mentioned yesterday because somebody was like, I brought up how that, was it yesterday or was it the day before? I can't even remember. I've probably talked about this so much I don't even remember at this point. But frequently I have talked about how with Jerry Jones, the common denominator for the Cowboys' problems, people like to blame the coach, people like to blame the players. And I'm like, no, the common problem has always been Jerry Jones, who is the owner and the GM. He wanted so much control over player personnel decisions, coaching, and everything else that has to do with the Cowboys that it, killed the chances for the Cowboys making it to a Super Bowl every time. And it was all because he wanted to be the sole reason the Cowboys made it to a Super Bowl. He didn't want to have anybody else getting credit for a Super Bowl besides him. That's why him and Jimmy Johnson parted ways. And somebody brought up, they were like, well, Jerry Jones did win a Super Bowl after Jimmy Johnson left. And I said, that is true, but what do people say about that Super Bowl? They say it was a product of everything Jimmy Johnson built. So you still have the issue going back to Jerry Jones not getting credit for solely being the reason for a Super Bowl. That's why he's been on this mission ever since to prove he is the reason we get a Super Bowl. Nobody else. He doesn't want the coaching getting credit or anything. He wants to say, I'm the owner, I'm the GM, and I hired all these people, I chose these players, and that's why we made it to a Super Bowl. And it's just like, with that mentality, that's why we've never been back. The Dallas team was Jimmy's team for years, exactly.
Off
Get to the
Jarek, that's what I think too. And I believe when I played, because he was on Nightcap, and I played that interview from him being on Nightcap, and I believe he said himself when Ocho asked him the question of what the Cowboys are going to get from him, he kind of alluded to the fact that he wasn't going to be an every down player. And so I'm just like, you know, that's kind of to be expected since he is 37. You got to consider his age as a factor in keeping him healthy, because your body's going to look a lot different, you know, from when you were younger to when you're older. So it's like, that's, you know, kind of what I already figured, right? But I hope that a lot of Dallas fans are not, I mean, I shouldn't say that because they're probably going to be delusional either way. But I hope that a lot of Dallas fans don't look at this and think, ooh, this guy solves everything. If only we could get Max Crosby too, we're set. I really hope that they're not looking at it as he's the complete, you know, missing piece, because I still have a lot of questions when it comes to Dallas's defense, because like I said, and I've been saying this, the defense is completely rebuilt. I think they either maintained 50% of the roster or they got rid of 50% of their roster. I can't remember which one it is, but there's a number there that's like 50%. And you have a new defensive coordinator as well. So it's like, I just don't know how I feel about Dallas's, you know, chance in being that amazing. Like, I know a lot of people are hyping them up, but I'm just trying to be realistic when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys.
Deadline.
I mean, they believe it, but can they back up what they're saying? Which is what we're going to get into with this next video from Nightcap. And Shannon Sharp, he said something along the lines of, you know, warning them that they better back it up.
Hey guys, it's your favorite Unk here. Go ahead and click that subscribe button below so you don't miss a single episode of Nightcap. That button right here. Come for the sports, stay for the stories.
Hey, man, let me tell you.
She done called them guard tools. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
Hey, look, y'all know she done found a new home because y'all know how they treat them in Atlanta, boy. They don't play out here, man. Hey, they gonna support you, boy. Hey, especially when you come put on a show like she did last night. Boy, what y'all talking about? That boy Pat Poof and a clown, ain't it, man?
We got a
Man, they're talking about Clarissa's fight. Did y'all check out that fight?
Special guest joining us later in the show at 8:50 p.m. Pacific time. Von Miller is going to join the show.
Hey, let's go, Von. Let's go, Von.
Early this offseason, Dak dubbed the Dallas unit the greatest offense there is. Well, now CeeDee Lamb believes that 2026, he and George Pickens can be the best ever. That's a very, very high bar because you got Randy Moss and Chris Carter. You got Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden. You got Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt.
What's up, Wolfpack? Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Pooh Man, what's up, Pooh Man? I gotta add your drop, Pooh Man.
You got Mark Super Duper and Mark Clayton. You got John Stallworth, Lynn Swan, Fred Biletnikoff and Cliff Branch. And then when you put anybody with Jerry Rice and T, do they realize that Jerry Rice and T.O. was on the same team, Ocho?
Wolfpack, I gotta check that fight out. I mean, I've seen clips of it, and I saw, Orlando Brown stumbling and everything. That just looked ridiculous. I bet a lot of funny clips are gonna come from that. You know what? Speaking of that, I need to add some funny clips of that fight. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But listen, I like that he said that.
You did a reaction to it? I'll have to check it out. Is it in a short or in a video? Let me know, but I'll have to check that out and do a rewatch.
Uncle Joe, I like that he said that. You supposed to feel that way. Regardless of the history of the best duos that play in the NFL, you supposed to feel y'all two are going to be the best. Now, I don't think they'll be able to play long enough together as a duo to be able to reach the status of some of the ones that you just named, but this season coming up, boy, they got a good chance. Yeah, Joe, you heard me. They got a good chance to make their mark as one of the best duos to actually play together.
It's a scorching sports summer, and you can make all your picks on Prize Picks. Women's basketball and baseball are heating up.
Y'all, they love doing these little ads now. I ain't mad at it. Y'all know, get your money. But let me try to skip through this ad. Dang, how long is it? All right, you dropped the link, Wolfpack, to that reaction video. Thank you. I'll check it out.
Every game, I can add her points and assists to the same lineup. Then I'll add one more player and enjoy the night's game.
He's still talking about this ad. Y'all, I'm just going to go ahead and apologize to you in advance. If I ever get a deal with Prize Picks, which I have looked into it, but if I ever get a deal with Prize Picks, I apologize in advance for any ads within the video that you might see.
Plus, I can stack a game winner, spread, or total from the W on top of the player's picks. One lineup, one app, all the picks. Prize Picks is now available in all 50 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. The biggest stars in women's basketball are in the heart of their season, and there's no better place to run your game on the W than Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. Vegas, baby, more. Download the app today. Use code Shannon to get $150 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Shannon to get $150 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app.
They do have that.
Hey.
So I'm rocking with what CD said. And honestly, right now, they the second best duo in the league right now. They only been together 1 year.
Behind who?
What you mean behind who, boy?
He's talking about the Bengals with Jamar Chase and Higgins and Joe Burrow.
Man, get the hell out of here, man.
Hey,
get out of here, bro.
Hey, don't, Joe, don't, come on now.
Nah, don't piss me off tonight, Ocho.
Hey, Joe, no, don't you piss me off being delusional now.
Nah, I ain't delusional. I'm just keeping it
I
100.
gotta clip that. How many times have I talked about, being a delusional Cowboy fan? Like, I don't like it. Do not be that delusional Cowboy fan. I know that I have some delusional Cowboy fans in the chat, but it's like, I ain't one of them, okay? But I need to clip that. He said, don't piss me off being delusional. Man, if that's not me, I tell you.
Your 100 is 99.
Nah,
if you
it's
think
100.
CeeDee Lamb and Pickens is better than Chase and T. Higgins, man. What you
didn't-
talking about?
We didn't mention Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen. Hey, guess what, fellas? We got work to do. We ain't worried about that. We don't mind no little work now. If that's what y'all talking about, we're going to put some work in, partner. We ain't worried about that part.
Well, we can put Jerry with anybody. Anybody that played opposite of Jerry Rice is a part of the greatest duo ever. Whether it's JT, John Taylor, whether it's Tim Brown, whether it's T.O., anybody that was across from him is part of the greatest duo ever because of how great Jerry was. But I'm anxious to see this offense. When you put statements out like this, Ocho, you already know, like you did, when you challenge DBs, you got to go out there and back it up.
Oh, yeah, that's the easy part. That's the easy part because they've been doing it all their career. Hell, they were doing it in high school. They were doing it in college. And they've been doing it. They haven't been voicing it out loud, which I wish more receivers would do, even though it adds a little pressure on you. But it's entertainment, it's excitement, and it forces you to have to play at a high level week in and week out.
Okay, bet. You know what? I need to do, if I can, I got to check, make sure I can cover it in fair use, which normally I can. You know, if I have my screen the way I have it set up, you know, similar to Coop, I can get away with fair use. So if I can look into it, make sure I can get away with it with fair use. I mean, obviously, Wolfpack said he did a reaction to it. So I'm sure I can, you know, make a fair use happen with that reaction. But I've got to react to that Ray J. Orlando Brown fight.
Tell the world. Tell the NFL. Put defenses on notice. Listen, we the best duo in the NFL. That's how I feel. I'm not really worried about the history. I respect those that came before me, right? But I feel me and George Pickens are the best duo. I like it. I live for that. I live for that.
Hey, what is pressure? You talking about they put pressure. What is pressure? What is that, partner?
Oh, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You talking about pressure. Ain't no pressure.
I like it.
We going to come out and do our 1-2. I like the energy that's coming out of Dallas. Look, we done took care of Big Quentin Williams, got Von Miller to get in there. Hey, listen, man. Once our defense lock in, Uncle Ocho, boy, y'all ain't going to be able to say foot nor ball when I come on here. You hear me? You hear me?
Hey, Joe, listen. You doing a whole lot of talking, right? You doing a whole lot of talking and ain't gonna be in the middle of that field, in between them lines when that ball snap.
But I'm gonna be talking the most ish for the Cowboys. You best believe
I ain't one of them, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm a Cowboys fan, but Joe, you are on your own, Joe. You're on your own. Leave me out of it. I'm a Cowboys fan, but leave me out of the delusional Cowboy fan talk, okay? I ain't the one. I'm not doing it. Not trying to bamboozle me now. Y'all know how I am with that. Where we at? 5:34? I'm not about to be bamboozled, I tell you.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out have been hoodwinked.
Yeah, I'm not the one. You know, it makes me so sick of these people.
I'm so sick of these people. You know,
that is me, y'all. That's me.
Hey guys, it's your favorite dunk here.
Where did I say
Go
we
ahead
were
and
at?
take that.
5:41 or something like that.
I'm on y'all this year, boy, in football. Oh, boy. I'm telling you right now.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You hear me? Stay with me real quick. Okay. I know you're happy. I know you're happy y'all got Vaughn. You hear me? I know you're happy y'all got Caleb down. You hear me?
Yeah.
I know you're happy because the beginning of the season, right? And obviously every season it's always like this. Everybody's on the high. Everybody's on the high at the beginning, like a relationship. In the beginning, the first 6 months, oh my God, it's beautiful. But when it matters most, what happens? You come down. You come down to reality.
Ocho is talking facts with this. It's like, you know, it's like a relationship. The first few months, it's all fine and dandy. But then when the rubber hits the road, or as I like to say, when the cleats hit the turf, it can crumble. You know, it can crumble fast at any little thing. So, that's why I'm just not big on the talk. It's like, why even say it? Why even say it? You know, if you are not positive, you can back it up. It's like, I would just rather my work do the talking for me.
Been the main thing and the main problem, the main issue for so long. Before the season starts, it's always, oh my God, it's so beautiful. You're on that high, like when you first meet somebody. But then reality sets in the postseason. You 6 months in, you done got comfortable. You can say a sentence and she can finish it. You see what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like,
Ocho.
you pick it up when I put it down.
Diamonds on my neck, I'm being.
Hey, Joe, I want you to be realistic, huh?
I'm being realistic, bro.
Listen to me. You too high on yourself right now, and if you this high, that means when you come crashing down, boy, it's gonna be bad. Bro.
That's why I'm not saying nothing. Y'all, this is exactly why I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to Super Bowl. We're gonna win the division. I ain't saying all that mess. I'm not the one to do it. I'm telling you, I'm not the one. It's like, you know, let the action speak for itself, because I would rather keep my mouth shut and let the cleats hit the turf and do the talking for me versus saying ahead of time that, oh, we're going to do this and that, and then end up losing. I'm not going to be made a fool, okay? Not me.
Hey, listen. I ain't studying all that, bro. We gonna back everything we talking about. We gonna back it up when season starts.
How you gonna back it up if you ain't on the field, Joe?
What you mean? I'm connected, homie. I'm a Cowboy. What you mean?
Ocho said we. What you mean? What you mean you gonna back it up? Where we at? 6:55. Ocho talking about, what are you saying? How are you gonna do anything if you're not out on that field? Let's see. Do I have this drop? Did I add the ones for the actors? Maybe not. Oh, wait, no. Maybe I did.
We? We?
Yeah, not a good look, Joe. That's not a good look. I have to agree with Ocho on this one.
Hey guys, it's your favorite unk here. Go ahead and.
All right.
High on yourself right now, and if you this high, that means when you come crashing down, boy, it's gonna be bad, boy.
Man, I ain't studying all. Hey, listen. I ain't studying all that, bro. We gonna back everything we talking about. We gonna back it up when season starts.
How you gonna back it up if you ain't on the field, Joe?
What you mean? I'm connected, homie. I am a Cowboy. What you mean? I'm locked in. What are you talking about? Huh? And you lucky we ain't got y'all on the schedule this year, boy.
Hey, Joe. Hey, I can ask you something. Last time y'all played us, what happened, Joe?
Man, you talking about, see, that you go talking about old stuff again. That don't matter. We're in 2026. You talking about something happened way back yesterday.
The one win that I remember against the Bengals was when Trevon Diggs got a stop, and that was a critical third down, and we got him off the field and ended up winning that game. That's the last one I remember us winning against the Bengals. That had to have been like 2023. Was that? Yeah, that had to have been 2023. I don't know if we beat them any other time, though.
Hear me? You need to lock in. We're in 2026, homie.
Hey, like 2026. The hype train been the same the past 30 years. Every offseason.
See, there you go. Steady
talking. And I'm with Ocho on this. Look at the track record. Look at the pattern of the Cowboys. Heck, look at your GM and owner, as I've been saying. It's like he's been on this mission to prove that he can win a Super Bowl and get sole credit for a Super Bowl win without having the coaches being credited for it or the players. He wants to be the sole reason why we get to a Super Bowl. And ever since then, we have not been back.
My old stuff again.
I'm being honest with you. The hype train for the star in Dallas has been the same every off season, leading into the season. In the regular season, oh, it's always beautiful. Oh, it's always awesome. But when it matters most, what's always happened, Joe?
2026. Can we lock in?
When it matters
most,
most.
they're eating something. I didn't even know. Y'all, I think I watched this live, but I don't even remember him eating.
Always happened, Joe.
This man stayed talking about old stuff. Old stuff we can't even control. It's gone. That's history.
I mean, listen. Hey,
that's history, partner.
History, what is history? When we talk about history, right? What is history? History is old stuff, ain't it?
It's old news. It's over with. Leave it alone. Then we move forward.
Hey, Joe, can I tell you something, Joe?
What you want to tell me?
I'm a positive dude, right?
I'm telling you, you have to take into consideration things from the past and incorporate it on what you look at in the future. Like, you cannot completely erase the past. Like, you have to have a balance. You look at what's happened in the past, you look at the track record, right, with the Cowboys, and then you also look at what you have for the future. All that together spells to me trouble for the Cowboys. I'm just saying. Because I look at everything that's went on in the past, like I've been saying with the Cowboys, and then I look at what they've got going for them in the future, and I'm not saying that they're going to be horrible, but I take into consideration CeeDee Lamb's drop passes, leading the league in drop passes since 2020. I take into consideration him being older, right? There's a lot of things that I'm looking at with CeeDee Lamb right now. And then I look at Dak Prescott's age, right? He's older now. And some of the things that he's had going off field, right? With his dramas. And then I look at the new pieces with the defense and completely rebuilding that defense. I look at having a new defensive coordinator. There's a lot that I'm looking at when it comes to the Cowboys. It's one thing to be talking about it, but it's another thing to look at the facts of the matter when it comes to what's really going on.
Boys, nothing but the best.
Okay, we appreciate that.
All right.
Wolfpack, you asked me, how many watch time hours do I have? I'm getting close to 3,000. I'm so close to 3,000. I think the last I checked, it was like 2,893 was the last I looked, but it could be more. It says that it usually takes a week to fully calculate from each live how many hours you have. So I'll probably have to wait till the week's over after this live to finally, figure out how much I have truly.
Yeah.
Yes, Wolfpack, I'm so excited. Y'all, I'm so excited that I will be finally at tier 1. Like, it seems like it's taken forever, but truly it really hasn't. But just this final stretch, that it just feels like the slowest process ever. And I'm just trying to knock out as much as I can to get these hours in.
Man, y'all too, man. I can just imagine what it's gonna be like during football season.
Hey, can I say something real quick, Listen to me. He talking a whole lot of trash for somebody that ain't gonna take one snap.
But
So
we're gonna
now
back it up.
listen,
I bet you.
Man, Ocho, he hit that one on the head too. Like he said, that man's talking a whole lot of trash for somebody who's not gonna play a snap. I need to save that. I need to make that a separate drop too, because y'all know occasionally we'll have these different fans come in saying this and saying that, and I just would love to play that little clip right there. You talking a whole lot of ish for someone who's not even taking a snap, okay? That's the perfect one. To me, that's the perfect one for G Honda. Y'all know how he is when it comes to his Steelers.
We back it up. I bet you we back it up.
Everything he say, they got to go out there and back it up. And if they don't, every week we come on here, boy, I'm gonna let you have it, boy.
Boy, you don't think them boys listen to this? You don't think they listen to us? You don't think they see what's going on? You don't think they got somebody who got their back partner? Boy, them boys for go out there and show out. Stop playing with us, man.
Yo, listen. All them boys watch the show. They might not watch it live, but everybody see the clip, Joe.
Y'all already know
Everybody
it.
see the clip, Joe. So I'm just telling you, you doing a whole lot of talking, but somebody ain't gonna take one snap offensively or defensively. So you gonna have them boys in trouble.
And that's your problem. You worry about the wrong thing, partner. You worry about the wrong thing. You worry about the wrong thing, Ocho.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Diamonds on my neck, I been. Yeah. East side, west side, north side.
Oh, man. Okay. I thought Shannon Sharp did more talking in this, but I'm telling you, the Cowboys better back up all that mess they be saying, because if not, it's not going to be good. Y'all know Stephen A is going to be coming out saying some mess. Shannon Sharp even is going to be coming out saying some mess. Everybody is going to be on Dallas's case if they don't back up what they've been talking about. All this hype that's been going on. That's why I don't like the hype. I don't like the hype. Because it's like, if this goes badly, I just know how it's going to go. And then I'm going to be so embarrassed. Well, not embarrassed, but I'm going to have to constantly say, hey, I'm a Dallas fan, but I'm not delusional, okay? I wasn't the one saying early on, we're going to a Super Bowl or we're going to win the division. I was being realistic. I'm going to have to say that. Anyways, let's keep it pushing. Let's get into the NFL injuries going on in the league right now for preseason.
Well, we got a number of injury issues to cover, so before Pat can even say to me, what else do we have? Junior at Jaden Higgins, the Texans wide receiver, tore his ACL, so he's out for the year, which is a devastating blow, and that's not a good injury to have, and you wish
So
him the best.
Higgins for the Texans is out with an ACL injury, and that is a huge blow to the Texans. So CJ Stroud is going to lose one of his wide receivers.
Hope he gets back soon, but that's awful that happened during yesterday. D'Amico Ryan said he hurt his leg. He was being evaluated, and it turned out to be a torn ACL. Alvin Kamara's got a sprained MCL. I'm told it's at least a month. That's a blow to the Saints, particularly on the heels of...
Dang, so Alvin, did they say Alvin Kamara from the Saints? That's going to be difficult for the Saints, too.
Tyson. So now you lose Jordan Tyson for a couple of months. You lose Alvin Kamara for a month plus. And now you've got a need on the offensive side.
And isn't he older? Because I want to say, like, there was talks of him possibly retiring. I heard moves of him possibly going to NASCAR. So now you have him injured. Man, it kind of makes me wish that he just would have retired.
Some people to catch the football. Tyler Biotic is out indefinitely. Suffered ACL damage yesterday.
Now, I heard that one was brutal. I believe the Chargers, that injury was brutal. If I'm not mistaken, he was the one where they had to have him carted off the field. It was bad. What is up, King Williams? Good to have you in the building.
Other injuries in his leg as well.
King Williams, I am testing out vertical, so I don't have everybody's drop yet, okay? But shout out to you for being here.
Medical opinions, gathering more information to see how long he'll be sidelined, but it's going to be for a while at the very least right now. So hopefully he can make it back at some point this season, but everything is up in the air right now, and it just feels like every single day there's somebody else it's awful. It's terrible. And Ty and I talked about this on the podcast this week. I've had a few people call me up and they're like, I know the PA bargain for more.
Y'all, I really want to do more reaction videos to Adam Scheffner and his podcast, because y'all, I always forget Adam Scheffner has his own podcast. Usually I typically only listen to him if he makes appearances on the Pat McAfee show, but he does have his own podcast. I have reacted to some of his podcasts before, but I always forget about it, okay? I don't know why, but I definitely want to react to some more.
They wanted these players out of the facility, but they feel like, and some of these are on the board, some of them are contact. Unlucky. So, but they're like, they're not playing as much football. They're not doing enough practice in the offseason. You get these muscles. Brees Hall, non-contact, goes down 2 to 3 weeks. Like, why is this happening? It just seems like there's a lot of that's out there right now. And a lot of different theories, a lot of people disappointed and upset about it. You hate to see anybody hurt at any point in time, but it feels like now we can't get through a day without somebody getting hurt for some reason.
Yeah, which is crazy because we all decided there was no more injuries. I know.
Well,
all right, I wish the best for those guys, but there's the update on the injuries within the NFL. Let's see. Let's move on to college football. But first, we got D-Money in the building. D-Money, let me see if I can't add your drop real quick. Let's see. Y'all bear with me, you know. We do it live, okay? We do it live. I'm flying this as we go because I just set up this vertical streaming not long ago. Let me look for D-Money's drop. I have so many for D-Money. Which one is this one? I don't want it to be that one. I want it to be the original one. About bring me my coleslaw, D-Money. Here we go. Found it.
Oh, and can
I
you
just
bring
have
my
to add
cold?
the sound for me. Fit it into this little box here. Man, come on, let me adjust it. There we go. Let me add the sound now. All right, here's D-Money's drop.
Oh, and can you bring my coleslaw on a separate plate? I hate it when it touches my bread. Oh, and can you bring my coleslaw on a separate plate? I hate it when it touches my bread.
Shout out to D-Money. All right. Back to it. Let's get into some college football. We have my good friend, Paul Feinbaum, talking about Alabama. Here we go. Indiana's head coach. Y'all, he comes from the Nick Saban coaching tree. So it's no surprise to me that he was able to make it to a national championship, right? But if I could pick one coach for us to have, well, actually two coaches for Alabama to have other than DeBoer, y'all know I did not want DeBoer. I did not want DeBoer as a coach. It was a quick hire. I think that was all they had in the coaching carousel to pick from. So that's who they went with. But if they had had Dabo Swinney or the Indiana head coach, that's who I probably would have preferred. I mean, I would like Kirby Smart, but there's no way Kirby Smart would come to Alabama and leave Georgia. He has ties with Georgia. I know that he was our defensive coordinator, the longest out of anybody that worked under Nick Saban. But, man, if I could get Kirby Smart, that'd be nice too. But it ain't happening. And I've had people ask me about Lane Kiffin. Well, why wouldn't you want Lane Kiffin? It's like, I like Lane Kiffin, but he is definitely more of a riskier play caller on offense. So I just don't know how much Alabama would go for that.
Alabama.
Let me look. I gotta go to my bigger screen here. Kentucky. Okay, so Kentucky. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all my thoughts on this schedule, and then we'll see what Paul Feinbaum has to say on this. Now, I've had many discussions with Paul Feinbaum on Alabama, but let's see how me and him match up with this, okay? So, East Carolina, I think that would be a win. Kentucky, that's questionable to me because I've seen Kentucky play Texas very closely and Georgia very closely. So I don't know what Kentucky has. I'm just going to put a question mark there. Florida State, I could put a question mark there. I believe that would be great for Florida State's head coach because I think he's on the hot seat. I feel like he's been on the hot seat the past few years. I don't understand how he still has a job at this point. But I'll put a question mark there because that can go either way. South Carolina, dang, that's another one that could go either way. I believe that we would get a win. Mississippi State, I believe we can get a win. Georgia, that's questionable. DeBoer has, beat Kirby Smart in recent years, so that could be a win. Tennessee, that's difficult. I don't know if that's a away game or not. Tennessee, that's always questionable to me. That could be a loss. Texas A&M, I think, could be a loss. Because Texas A&M, I'm telling you, that program, that head coach and that program has been on the up. So Texas A&M, I think that could be a loss. LSU, I think, could be a loss. Vanderbilt, that's always questionable, but I think we'll get the win. What's the other one? Chattanooga? I think we'll get the win there. Auburn, that's questionable. I would think we would win against Auburn, but there's my thoughts on it. Let's see what Paul Feinbaum has to say.
And
Lane Kiffin wanted the job at Alabama? I didn't realize he wanted it. Like I said, I feel like, you know, for Alabama, that would have been too much of a risk of a hire. And it goes back to what Pooh Man said. You know, Lane, he's been known to have a track record of leaving a lot of schools for job opportunities. Some of it he got fired. Now, let's be real. You know, some of it he got fired. But at one point, he was the Tennessee head coach. I can't remember if they fired him or if he left that job. I want to say he might have left that job for USC. So he gets to USC. He gets fired at the airplane terminal, I think. And that's when he goes to Alabama, right? So he was then the offensive coordinator for Alabama under Nick Saban. He then leaves that job to go to Florida Atlantic or some school like that to be the head coach. And he was only there, I think, for maybe a year or two. He leaves that job to then take over for Ole Miss. He was at Ole Miss for, you know, a few years and built that program up. Now you have Pete Golding taking over. But now Lane Kiffin left that job for LSU. So I feel like there was a lot that goes into why Lane Kiffin probably was not hired. And you have to think that Nick Saban had a lot of input on his thoughts with that, of why he probably would not have preferred Lane Kiffin to have the job. Even though he has a lot of respect for Lane Kiffin, I just don't know if, you know, how he moves from job to job and his track record of being a risky play caller. I just don't think that's what Alabama wanted. But I did not know that Lane Kiffin wanted that job.
Not
lose against Vanderbilt. Now, y'all, I have said, whenever Vanderbilt, the year that we lost to Vanderbilt, I had picked Vanderbilt to win. Everybody was saying that Alabama was going to win, and I said, I said, that head coach, y'all, if you look into that program and how it's been built up similar to Texas A&M, I was like, I think we lose, and sure enough, we did. Same thing that happened with Oklahoma. My friend is an Oklahoma fan, and they were like, yeah, we're going to lose to Alabama, and I was like, nope. I was like, I was like, I think you guys get the win, because our offensive line really struggles. There was a lot that went into my thoughts about that, and sure enough, Oklahoma beat Alabama. So as the season progresses, it will really, you know, start to formulate my thoughts on the wins and losses. But here, Paul Feinbaum has us losing to Vanderbilt. I'm not mad at that. I mean, honestly, I'm not.
hold on. Stop. I made a mistake. Alabama.
Oh, okay. So he changed it. I was going to say, I have us winning against Vanderbilt, but I'm not mad if he chose that as a loss for Alabama, because like I said, Vanderbilt's program has been on the up. don't know. I think Texas A&M, that coaching is pretty strong. They've really built up that program. I just don't know how confident I am against Texas A&M. But that could change. Y'all, I do have the AP poll that I want to go over, and this is the early rankings for college football. So you have Ohio State at number 1. I know, Derek, you were going to love this. You said, boo, Bama. But, Derek, you have Ohio State at number 1. That's the Ohio State for you. Oregon at 2. Georgia at 3. Notre Dame at 4. Texas at 5. Indiana at 6. 7th is Miami. 8th is Texas A&M. 9, Ole Miss. 10, Oklahoma. 11, LSU. 12, Texas Tech. And then that leaves Alabama at 13. Outside the top 10. Y'all, Alabama is outside the top 10 in the rankings. I don't know how I feel about that, y'all. I just, man, that's crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen Alabama outside the top 10 before, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think. I became an Alabama fan after graduating high school, obviously. And I don't know if my time watching them, I've ever seen them outside the top 10. I'll have to do some research and figure that out. But it's just crazy to think that they are 13th. I'm not mad at it, though. Like, I'm not that high up on Alabama. To be honest with you, I'm not that high up on any SEC school, if I'm being honest with you. Texas A&M, I think I would put Texas A&M up there because they did have Texas A&M at 8th, I believe. Yeah, 8th. You have Ole Miss. Y'all, you have, this is what's crazy. You have Texas A&M, Ole Miss, I mean, even Oklahoma, all ranked higher than Alabama, which is insane to think about. Like, I could understand Georgia, Texas, but just the fact that you have Ole Miss ranked higher than Alabama, and keep in mind, Ole Miss has new head coaching under Pete Golding. Now, Pete Golding did come from the Nick Saban coaching tree. He was our defensive coordinator at Alabama, and then obviously he went to Ole Miss to be a defensive coordinator under Lane Kiffin, and now he's taken over the program. But it's like, Ole Miss is even ranked higher than Alabama. I know that many Alabama fans feel disrespected by that, but to be honest, I'm not mad at it. I'm not that high up on Alabama right now, and there's just been so much going on that plays into that decision. Derek, you said good. You said good. Of course you said that. Now let's get into Alabama being outside the top 10. Now that I brought that up, we have, I believe, Greg McElroy discussing this. Greg McElroy, he is on the Always College Football podcast with ESPN, and he's also an analyst, but he played for Alabama as our quarterback. But let's hear what he has to say on this.
At number 8, it's the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, this number might surprise some folks because last year they went 11-4. They go to Norman, they get a win, the first team to win on the road in the college football playoff. However,
now,
it
number
was
8
ugly.
is not what Alabama is ranked, okay? They are ranked 13th in the AP polls right now, okay? But this was just his list that he was going through of, I guess it was like a surprise of teams ranked outside the top 10.
The last time we saw the Tide, it was really ugly. Indiana beat them 38-3. And in the second half, especially, it didn't feel that close. So this is year number 3 for Kalen DeBoer. And everyone circling Tuscaloosa, everyone talking about the state of...
Year number 3 for DeBoer? Are you kidding me? I did not realize we've had him for 3 years. You mean to tell me Nick Saban has been out the game for 3 years as a head coach? Y'all, that just don't seem real. It seems like yesterday. My heart's broken. That kind of hurted me, though. Why did he say that? We're at 26 seconds. I mean, I'm telling you, that hurted me. Because I just was not expecting Nick Saban to be 3 years removed.
That kind of hurted me, though. Because it's like, why would you think that of me?
That is insane. And shout out to Nick Saban. Oh, wait. That's the wrong one, y'all. That's the wrong one. I think I have it under coaches. Let's see. Did I not add that? I know that I should have added that Nick Saban one. I guess I didn't add it. I thought it would be under coaches. Okay, I gotta add that to the list. I have a Nick Saban one that I need to add, okay?
At number 8, it's
All
the
right.
Alabama.
I was like 25 seconds in, I think I said.
Circling Tuscaloosa, everyone talking about the state of the Tide. They're focusing on the New Year's Day result. And right now, Alabama doesn't have a starting quarterback. So for them to be 8, like, how does that make sense? What? How? Why? Well, let me walk you through it. And let's assess the quarterback situation honestly. Look, Ty Simpson was amazing. First-round pick last year. And right now, it's a live competition between Austin Mack and Keelan Russell. And if you look at those guys, I mean,
maybe this was the unofficial results that had them ranked at 8 that he's talking about, now that I think about it. But now that the official results came out, it has them at 13.
Number 2 quarterback in the country just a couple years ago. And Mack, he's in his 4th year in the system. And a lot of people say, well, he might be the smartest guy on the team as far as understanding the offense and the terminology. He was also the first quarterback off the bench when Ty Simpson got banged up in the Rose Bowl last year. So he entered the offseason in front, and then spring happened. And Keelan Russell really closed that gap. He went for an impressive performance in their spring game.
I've heard talks about Russell. He was on the cover for a Nike ad for Alabama, and a former player for Alabama had said that you don't put a guy like that on an ad if that is not your starting quarterback. And that makes sense. Why would they put a quarterback who's not going to be starting on an ad? So that kind of leads me to believe Russell will be the starter.
Was a little banged up. So there's been some smoke out of Tuscaloosa since, saying that Russell didn't just close the gap, but maybe in some cases have passed him. Well, I don't know if I agree with that. Not at this point, but the timing detail matters. Last year, Kalen DeBoer named Ty Simpson the starter on August 11th. That was right after the first scrimmage of fall camp. And he's already said this year that he thinks that this might go beyond the second scrimmage. In an ideal world, a guy separates, he's named the guy after that second scrimmage, you start focusing on week 1, 2, and 3 opponents. That might not be the case. So this may be settled here sooner than later, but it could draw out a little bit. But here's the other thing. Whichever one they go with, I think they're going to be just fine at quarterback. A lot of things around Alabama, there are question marks for sure.
Okay, so McElroy is saying that Alabama could be fine with their quarterback situation. That's one thing that I had a lot of questions for with Alabama, you know, that being a main concern since the ball goes through the quarterback. I'm like, how is this QB situation going to look? But McElroy is talking very confident about the quarterback situation.
For me, is not one of them. I think quarterback, when we fast forward to week 5, 6, 7, 8 in the season, I think that will be a position of strength for the Crimson Tide. And look, you can't play quarterback by yourself. You bring back Ryan Coleman-Williams, and while he might be on paper the only returning starter that Alabama has on offense, they still have a right guard that played an awful lot but doesn't qualify because he didn't start 6 games. You also have Lottie Brooks as the slot receiver. He played a lot but didn't start, so he doesn't qualify as well. But there is a lot of news surrounding the offense that might be good because the offensive line really underachieved throughout last season. So a bunch of new faces up front could actually make this group jump significantly. What's also beneficial is that Ryan Grubb is in year number 2 running the offense. Kane Womack is back running the defense for the 3rd straight year.
Y'all, I
so
just
first
seen a
year
headline
maybe
for the ticker. I don't know if y'all pay attention to it, but I just seen a headline and it talked about AJ Brown's performance. I forgot that the Eagles was having a joint practice with the Patriots, and it said that AJ Brown has not spoken to Jalen Hurts, but sends a message with his performance. So I guess that AJ Brown had a good practice. Y'all, I don't buy into any of that though, if I'm being honest with you. it's all early talks. It's like, what's going to happen when the cleats hit the turf come regular season?
Installing, adjusting, getting to know their personnel. Now it feels like there's decent coaching continuity in the defensive line based on what we've heard in fall camp. That might be the biggest surprise. They went to the portal. They go get Devin Tompkins from SC. They get Terrence Green from Oregon. You get Kendrick Billing-Jones from Mississippi State. These are 3 veteran interior players in one off season. So they feel like the depth along the defensive line is really good. They're also saying this might be the most versatile defensive line of the DeBoer era. And on the offensive line, we've talked about Michael Carroll, William Sanders, and Jackson Lloyd. Those guys look like they're in a really good spot there at guard and tackle, respectively. But don't rule out Mal Waldrop. Rayson Delgado's at centers, a bigger frame, but still athletic, much like the guy Parker Brailsford they lost last year. And Javen James appears to be sliding in at right tackle. So those pieces are starting to settle. And there's a ton of talent on both lines of scrimmage. It's just, can they play well together? You have an edge rusher in Yanze Pierre that can take over the game, and you have one of the best secondaries in the country. So are there concerns beyond the quarterback and maybe some new pieces? Of course. There's a running back room that feels like it's 5 deep, but it's certainly unsettled. The wide receiver room is really young, and yet it's really thin as well. But the roster...
offense, question marks. And I'm telling you, that defense, I know people hype up that Kane Womack defense, but I feel like they hype it up a little more than they should, because if you just look how undisciplined they were, and this is the conversations I had with Paul Feinbaum on this, but if you just look at how undisciplined that defense looked, it's not the same as what we got from when Nick Saban was head coach and he had a heavy impact on the defense, right? I mean, I know he was the head coach, but he heavily looked after that defense, no matter who was the coordinator. I feel like he was probably a little more trusting of Kirby Smart out of any of the defensive coordinators, just because Kirby Smart was there the longest, so he probably had a little bit more trust in Kirby Smart. But it's not the same. It's just not the same. I have a lot of questions on Alabama, and I hope to see things addressed, but I don't know how hopeful I am. I'm just keeping a realistic mindset when it comes to Alabama. And it's difficult to say that. I'm not going to lie, it's difficult to say that, because I feel like I've said that more about the Dallas Cowboys than I ever have. So to be saying that about Alabama just seems surreal.
Feels loaded. However, we keep going back to that one word, young. And young is not necessarily a synonym for bad. It's just a synonym for volatile. And I think Alabama this year has a chance to be last year's version of Oregon.
When I hear young, I hear mistakes. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I hear young, I hear a lot of, rookie type mistakes, okay? I don't know.
A team where everybody said, hey, 26 is the year. Fast forward, next year's the year. And then they go on and win 11 games because they have really, really good talent. Now, the projections land them around 8-4, and there is a legitimate playoff path, though, because the schedule is...
Paul Feinbaum had them at 9-3. I kind of have them more so 8-4, like what Greg McElroy's talking about here.
Is more manageable than some of the teams that sit right behind them and some of the teams that sit right in front of them. Yes, Alabama on paper plays the 15th hardest schedule in America, which sounds really, really difficult, but you look at what Oklahoma plays, that's the second. You look at Texas, they play the third.
Let's look at this. Who has the most difficult SEC schedule? Okay, wait, this is just their schedule for the games they have. So you have East Carolina, we already looked at that. I thought this was going to show me the difficulty of everybody's schedule in the SEC.
Is the 9th. So of every serious SEC national championship contender, Alabama might have drawn the most manageable road. And that's worth something when you fast forward to November. So the concern is not talent, it's not coaching. It's a team that's really young at a lot of different spots, all coming together at once. And believe me, 8th is kind of trusting the roster and the schedule and waiting on the experience to to
All right,
catch
there
up.
you have it. That is Alabama's schedule and the outlook of them being outside the top 10. But let's go ahead and get into this QB talk.
Moving on to the Alabama Crimson Tide. August 20th is the date that everyone's circled. Everyone's treating August 20th like the quarterback date. That's when it's going to be announced and all these things. It's Thursday, just a couple days from now. It's Alabama's second scrimmage. And everyone assumes that's when Kalen DeBoer will name a starter. That's not necessarily what it is, because Ryan Grubb wants the quarterback decision.
I really feel like I've got to add this Nick Saban drop, okay? Because you remember when it was Jalen Hurts versus Tua Tagovailoa, everybody was questioning Nick Saban, who are you going to start? And he said this one thing, which is what I'm going to play from this video if I can find it. But man, this was like the funniest thing. I wish I had had this added before under coaches, but I guess I forgot. I forgot to add it. Let's see. I should be able to find it though fairly quickly. Should be under, hopefully it's under Nick Saban. Let's see. Here we go. I think I found it.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Y'all know I gotta resize this to fit the screen. But everything going on with this QB controversy with Alabama, it just reminds me of when Nick Saban had said this in an interview. If y'all know, you know.
I'm not going to, so quit asking. I'm not going to, so quit asking.
He said, I ain't going to tell you, so quit asking. I ain't telling you who's starting.
Moving on to the Alabama Crimson Tide.
All right, where were we at? Like 24 seconds, I believe.
Offensive line to land on the same day. So the offense gets continuity heading into the opener with a couple weeks to prepare. So Thursday isn't necessarily an announcement. It's the entire offense being introduced to itself, right? And it's 16 days before they welcome East Carolina in for the season opener. And right now they don't know. And if you listen to Kalen DeBoer after the first scrimmage, he said verbatim, I don't feel closer with the quarterback answer. They asked about the offensive line. Definitely not there yet. And if you listen to those that are focusing on the battles and you're talking to those that are inside the program, Austin Mack is stringing together consistent day after consistent day. There have been times, though, when Keelan Russell has those moments where he absolutely dazzles, right? And apparently, because of some leaky protection in the first scrimmage, it lended itself towards Keelan Russell having a slightly better performance. He had a couple touchdowns. People have already talked about his upside, his ceiling, his talent level. And I think a lot of people will look at what the offense is, and if the offensive line struggles.
I have not looked that heavily at what Alabama has. I don't know. Maybe it's just me still grieving not having Nick Saban as a head coach, but I have not been as invested into looking into these players like I once have in the past. And I really, truly believe it's just because I grieve not having Nick Saban there. So it's like I'm a little bit more anxious when it comes to what the team has. So it's like I wait till the last minute to check out all these players and check out the roster. I shouldn't be like that, y'all. I shouldn't be like that, especially whenever I'm going on, you know, the ESPN affiliated networks with the radio shows and giving my perspective on things, which, you know, obviously I do my research on the topics I'm covering, but when it comes to every position, every key player, it's like I'm just not that well studied in what they have as I once was in the past. But I'll get better at it. I'll get better at it.
Having a mobile quarterback could very well be the difference. And that might be entirely true. And if you listen to one other thing, what's been the issue with Alabama the last 2 years? It's the offensive line play. The concerning part is that both quarterbacks were under duress on several dropbacks. had to escape.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, man, that got me. As soon as I heard those words, see, this is like exactly why I have not been invested in looking into all these players and looking into the offensive line and what we have, because it's like those words right there. Talking about the quarterbacks being under duress and having to escape the pocket, make plays on the run. I mean, he didn't finish what he was going to say with that, but I already know. I don't, that's not giving me hope when it comes to the offensive line.
Plays on the move. And in that type of setting, we know that Russell is going to look like the better guy in that scenario. Well, think about what that means. A scrimmage where the protection is a little leaky is not great, and it's accidentally going to be engineered for a guy that can run and move and create. That doesn't mean that Keelan Russell's day wasn't great. It was. It just means that his skill set is going to better be exemplified and put forward when things are kind of up in the air.
I talk about it all the time. Play to your quarterback's strengths, and you have to do what fits your scheme and what you're working with your offensive line as well, because if you have an offensive line that's collapsing, you're going to need a quarterback who can escape the pocket and make plays on the run. Otherwise, you're dealing with a quarterback who's going to take a sack, similar to what you've seen with Tua Tagovailoa, because he struggled with taking sacks and giving up on plays. But man, I don't know how I feel about having an offensive line that's already struggling this early, because how are you going to expect your quarterback to perform well against top SEC defenses? This is why I have question marks with them being able to beat teams like Texas A&M.
Everyone else isn't necessarily performing at a level that they need to perform at. So when Kalen DeBoer walks out the field and tells everybody he doesn't feel any closer, that's complete indicator. Because one guy's been more consistent, one guy has had a higher ceiling, one guy has had a little lower low. So that's okay. That's to be expected, at least in the first couple weeks of fall camp. Now, the second thing, and it's a tough one, right? Alabama finished 125th in the nation running the football last year. 104 yards a game, just 1,150 yards on the year.
That was one of the worst run games Alabama has ever had that I've witnessed. And we were known for a hot minute for being known for our wide receivers at one point, our running backs, definitely our defensive players, right? But to go from having top running backs in the NFL to what we're working with now is insane to think about. Like, you talk about Mark Ingram, this is it the third or the second? But Mark Ingram, you have Derrick Henry, you have Josh Jacobs, you have Najee Harris, you have all these great running backs that came from Alabama. And to go from that to what we witnessed this last season, tell me how that's possible.
14 touchdowns and less than 3.5 per carry as a team. That's Alabama, right? And the deeper problem wasn't necessarily volume, it was consistency. And that run game, it kept putting the offense behind schedule into obvious passing downs, and it just made everything else harder.
The consistency with Alabama and being undisciplined was probably like some of my biggest issues. There was no consistency, the discipline wasn't there, and I mean, you could make an argument for both defense and on offense. Like, the penalties that they had, it's just unlike anything I've ever seen before. That definitely, I didn't see that under Nick Saban as much. The last couple of years with Nick Saban, he really struggled getting the team to, focus and be disciplined, but he was able to manage to do it. I look at what he did under, whenever he had Milroe and Terrion Arnold and those guys, he was able to, snap them in to focus and really be more disciplined. This, it just seems like we're getting further and further away from it.
Who was on the field? And that's the position where Alabama could least afford anything to go wrong. And running back has been a bit of a problem, at least with injuries here early on. A.K. Deere got hurt at the end of the first scrimmage, He scored and had a really good day, apparently, and was widely considered maybe one of the breakthrough players here in the early part of fall camp. Well, he now goes down with an ankle injury. It sounds like he's going to miss an extended period of time. Some people are saying as many as 6 weeks, potentially. E.J. Crowell, who is a 5-star freshman, one of the highest rated signees in the class, he didn't participate in the scrimmage. It sounds like he's going to miss a couple practices, but shouldn't miss any games. So they do have 3 backs that did have some catches and some carries last fall. And sources keep pointing to a true freshman named Trayshawn Brown, who continues to impress. He did so in the spring. Now he has a strong scrimmage performance, and it sounds like he could be expected to contribute right away. And that's really, really important. Now, another thing that you listen to those inside the building, there is a ton of confidence right now that Alabama might have one of the better defensive lines in America.
Dang,
and people
that's
that have
interesting
watched
that he says that, because I got a lot of questions with that defense. I mean, are they going to be more disciplined is my major thing.
This scrimmage, they said it was quote-unquote dominant, really, and very, very impressive. And the detail underneath is the one that I care most about. And it's not necessarily pressure, but they added some size, they added some length across the front, could make throwing lanes very difficult, which means tipped passes, which means turnovers. And a bigger defensive line doesn't always just get to the quarterback, but taking away the windows where he's trying to throw it, that can be impactful as well. Devin Tompkins, who transfers in from SC,
Man,
people have
that
circled
would be
him.
amazing if I could see this defense be like transformed and be more disciplined, similar to what I've seen under Nick Saban. That would be outstanding. Like, I'm being realistic. It's like, I mean, I don't know how that's going to really look, but that would be amazing if that was the case, because I would love to see major defensive plays. I would love to see forced turnovers, because I feel like they were hit or miss when it came to stopping the run. I feel like some of the CBs had a lot of, blown coverages. So I would love to see a more disciplined defense in forcing turnovers and getting interceptions or fumble recoveries. But, I mean, like I said, I'm being realistic. I don't have my expectations too high, okay?
As one of the best additions on the roster. We know the secondary is legit. It's been one of the top groups in America the last couple years. Sounds like they did a great job in coverage. And almost everything the offense got came from a quarterback extending the play and making plays off schedule. And while Alabama, there's a lot to like about what they have back from a talent standpoint. They also brought in a handful of transfers. And the one that a lot of people are talking about running the defense there at the second level, Caleb Woodson, who got a ton of speed. Originally started his career by playing safety at Virginia Tech. He's now up to 238 pounds. He played 9 games last year, made nearly 60 tackles.
So that's the name I'm going to be looking at.
Sounds like he's going to be the guy that might be wearing the green dot. So that's the helmet communicator, a guy that relays the call. He's kind of the voice of the coaches on the field. So to see how his transition has become is significant, because linebacker was a position of concern. Now it's sounding like it could be a position of strength for the Tide. See all the noise around the program about Kalen DeBoer's seat and where he's at and the Rose Bowl performance and the 7-year extension. Well, camp is telling you that right now what's actually going on in Tuscaloosa is a team taking shape. It's just not the team that you've come to expect. It's a defense-first football team with an offense that is at the time, right now, a work in progress. But the defense is going to keep Alabama in every single game they play.
That's crazy to think about, but I ain't mad at it.
Now, the question is whether an offense that meets itself on Thursday can score enough in September and October to allow the fourth quarter conversion to happen the way they want it to happen.
You have to have a team firing on all cylinders, okay? Like, I know people like to say, defense wins championships. Sure, that's true. But you also have to have your offensive line performing well. Because if you have an offensive line that collapses and it, forces the quarterback to be under pressure to where he's not able to make passes in a certain time frame that he needs, or if he's having to escape, make plays on the run, risk, putting his body up for injury, that significantly can impact a team. So this is why I say you really need it to be firing on all cylinders. And I have concerns with that offense, because if that offensive line collapses, how is a quarterback going to handle being under pressure? Is he going to be able to stay healthy? And I worry about turnovers on offense. It's like when a quarterback's getting pressured like that, if the ball gets forced out, like that can impact if Alabama wins a game or not. So I just have a lot of questions. And, I said I got questions on defense too. What McElroy is talking about here kind of, gives me some hope for the defense. But I'm staying realistic with my expectations for Alabama.
Because if you look at the Rose Bowl, it was not just a defensive failure. It was just an overall frustrating performance, all things together. But if this offense can gel quickly in the next 20 days and the defense can continue to play at the level they've played at here in the first couple of weeks of camp, Alabama is exactly who we thought they were going to be. And that, to me, is still a national championship contender. And while the AP has them at 13.
So see, now talking about the update on the AP poll, having Alabama at 13.
Still believe they're a top 10 team, assuming that offense can come together.
So he believes that they're a top 10 team. He thinks Alabama is a top 10 team. Ooh, that's bold. I don't know. With all the changes with Alabama, I just don't know. I'm just waiting to see. Because if I'm going based off, last season, it's just like I haven't been too hopeful, if I'm being honest. But shout out to Greg McElroy. Y'all, I just noticed that Greg McElroy changed his setup. I don't know how long he's had this new setup, but before he just had like a little TV screen in the background with the logo for Always College Football. But now he has his jersey I'm seeing, and then he has the different college football logos with the helmets. That's a cool setup. I like the new setup for Greg McElroy. All right, y'all. I believe I covered everything that I wanted to All right, see if you hear me now. You should be able to hear me now. Y'all, I started off the show on this screen too. I'm going to have to cut that whole part out because y'all probably didn't hear a word I said early on in the show. Blame Cree Cree. Derek, you said blame Cree Cree. That's hilarious. Now, man, I'm telling you, it's always something. It's always something. But I started off the show on this main screen, had no clue that y'all couldn't even hear me. Why'd y'all tell me to begin with? I know I got a meme from this. I have to have a meme for this because I'm telling you, oh man. I can't believe this. Let's see, which one I want to do. I gotta have some meme. Yeah, hey, players mess up, y'all. I messed up, okay? I didn't notice that my mic was muted early on, but players mess up, okay?
Players fuck up. Players fuck up all the time. I was pissed.
I was ticked, y'all. When Derek said that I was muted, I was ticked, y'all. Oh man, let's see. Do I have the one from Drake? I don't know if I added the one from Drake. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have that one. I gotta add the one from Drake that I have as well. But let me go back to this main screen. I can't believe my mic was muted on this, though. I need a motivational video, y'all. We're going to close it out with a motivational video.
Stop comparing yourself to other people. Compare yourself to you. Be the best you could possibly be. And that's all you need to focus on. Be the best you could possibly be. I don't give a damn what they got going on. I don't give a damn what they got in the driveway. I don't give a damn what you pulling up to. I don't give a damn what you got around your neck or on your feet. Be the best you that you could possibly be. That's all God asks.
That's all I can do, y'all. I can only be the best that I can be. I just gotta keep trying my best, and that's all I can do. But I will definitely be editing this live and cut out the part where y'all couldn't hear me when I was on this main screen. But shout out to you, Derek. Derek, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know that I was muted. All right, like I said, covered all the topics. Let's get out of here, Touchdown Tribe. I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.